We are going to start question and answer session. We will give priority to the written questions, and accordingly we will use the balance time for the audience or any other Zoom writings. So we'll invite Rupika to start the session, please.
Venerable Sirs, there are 4 written questions for the day. Yes.
4.
Venerable Bhante, sitting meditation. Breathing, I started observing from abdomen to nostrils. Felt the expansion and contraction in the abdomen. Felt the same in the chest. Felt the brushing air inward and outward in both nostrils at the same time. Continued this observation. After some time, I had mindfulness in my breath. Saw dark purple images. Thoughts came as images. Still vacant dark blue space with no thoughts or mind wandering. Checked for mindfulness on the breath. Continuously had it for a very long time, maybe 15 minutes. But while the mindfulness was on the breath continuously, heard the drilling and the hammering noise. Observed a rhythm in the noise. Checked to see if it was my own snoring. It wasn't. Noted that I am having mindfulness on breathing while listening to loud noise. While having a questioning mind in between, now what? The mind did not wander away unmindfully. It shifted in between, hearing noise, awareness of breath, questioning mind. Walking meditation. I focused on the sole of the foot for body sensations. At the point of contact, hardness was felt and the sole felt pressed from both sides. Roughness feeling of the sole. Unevenness in the contact points of the sole. Only different spots of the sole got into contact with the mat. Sharpness of the coir in the mat. Dampness was felt in the sole. Coldness. Muscles on the toes, first stretching, then contracting and then releasing, was felt while placing and lifting. Muscles were relaxed in the foot while moving. Very little sensation while the foot is moving. Very subtle brush of air while the foot is moving. I am forcing mindfulness and feel tired. How do I put less effort?
How do I put less effort? No, there is no question of putting less effort. If the method is correct, event by event, it demands less and less effort. So that's a kind of an indicator. Don't try to withdraw the effort or to forcefully do it. You have to just see the trend. And 2 more points I would like to comment. One thing is that in sitting as well as in walking, there are 2 kind of distractions. So whatever may be, for example, when you are walking, you can feel the hardness, softness, coldness, roughness, all the kind of thing. Are these detailed information of the same touch of the foot disturbing your mindfulness? Or when you are walking, there are distracting sounds, thoughts and other feelings. Do they disturb your mindfulness? Or internal and external things are disturbing? This letter clearly indicates it is not. It is not. I am very happy. So many people, many meditators, beginners tend to say the outside sounds and the thoughts and the pains are making mind unmindful, wandering, daydreaming and distractions. So such a person, there may be few people on that type also. For them, the longness and the shortness of the breath, the coldness and the warmness of the breath, is that also disturbing you? No, they are the endowments, they are the benefits of mindfulness. So therefore, whenever the mindfulness is going, there may be internal activities, external activities. Internal objects, external objects. So for my experience, many people are complaining about the external distraction. That we have to take care. We have to reduce them as much as possible as far as the beginner is gaining the mindfulness. But that is a kind of endowment. While you are keeping the track with the primary object, still you can notice outside things. Usually our language is they are distraction, they are wandering mind, daydreaming, fantasizing. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Look at it in a radical way. They are there, still the mindfulness is there. So that is fairly obvious, denoted in this letter. Very happy. Not only explaining about your primary object, that's also very clearly indicated. And while doing both internal and external activities, internal and external objects mentioned, they are not distracting. That means mind is utterly in insight, utterly in vipassana. Otherwise, you are progressing, but in the samatha way, but in the concentration way. So we have to keep it open. Concentration way also a way. Vipassana way also a way. But it's a biforked. Which one you prefer? What is your direct dispositions? What is your underlying tendencies? The report will say. This particular person, whoever may be, is having fairly a good prepared mind. And even easily he or she can tackle external distractions, sounds, thoughts, pain. And internal, I am not telling internal distraction, the detail of your primary object, the longness, shortness, coldness, hot, rough, smoothness. So that means mind is diversified. Still keeping the mindfulness to the internal details or intrinsic characteristic of the primary object as well as the outside distractions. Both of them weighing you whether you are ready, whether you are prepared. When you are prepared, you are a full fit person to live on the earth. Otherwise you are a troublemaker. I am very sorry, but I am not telling that you must be killed. No, not capital punishment. So you have to understand that is the way samatha yogis. I am an expert. I am declaring and I am claiming. But I made the situation as much as possible even for the samatha yogis. Because majority are samatha. But I am always happy with vipassana yogis. It's a weakness of me. Vipassana inclined. So this person also the same. So we'll go to the next and see how it is.
Venerable Swamin Wahanse, walking meditation. Just after start walking, thoughts came. After that, I felt tiredness of the foot. I noticed legs are moving like two sticks. The space in front of my legs were bright. My body vibrated. I heard sounds. Few times my eyes were closed slowly and opened slowly automatically. Sitting meditation. I sat down and heard sounds. Sometimes I felt my body vibration. Then I felt nothing. A thought came and mind attached to that. Within short time I realized that. When I realized that, I noticed my muscles were tied. When I focused to that, muscles were relaxed. Thought came and my body shook just after the thought. After that, there was some time without feeling anything. Same thing happened again and again. Theruvan Saranai.
So whenever the avenuing, whenever the face-to-face, whenever mind is adverse to something, muscles become tight. So that is a normal thing. But if the mind is laissez-faire, looking here and there like a floating and like a monkey mind, quite relaxed. So that's why people are not happy with meditation. Meditation is adverted into one point and the gun is aimed at the target board and sharp to the bullseye. And then you have to be very tense till you trigger it off. Then once the bullet is left the gun, you can shake. So that is the part we call not sila, not we call moral restraint. This is a concentration restraint. You have to focus. That is called power line straighten. Then shooting happen. And if it is, you can predict the path. For that you have to restrain yourself. So that is why the special task force in the army and the police, they do it. And then once you hit the target, you get an enormous relaxation, enormous happiness. But till that you have to align. And in Vipassana, you understand moral restraint, you understand concentration restraint, and then Vipassana restraint, whether it hit the target or not, he says things are uncontrollable. Things are there. So you shoot. But it is not hitting the target, then what? What is problem? No problem, no harm. That's how Vipassana yogis are very happy all the time. Whether you hit the target, good. Whether you not hit the target, still good. Because no, the things are not predictable. Things are not under your control. But sometimes when the power line is straightened, it's hitting. It is not you, it is about the power line. But if the power line is not straightened, you are not hitting the bullseye. Still, why you claim this as hit the bullseye or not hit the bullseye? And you win or not. Because this, even whether you are winning or not, it is not yours. It is just physics. You are just a witnessing. So after the concentration restraint, you just let the car run by or driven by a monkey or a chimpanzee. Not like a professional chauffeur-driven car. Just a chimpanzee is... And that's the way you start driving at the beginning. At the beginning you are also just a chimpanzee. And later only you become a skillful driver. And after the Vipassana Samatha, you come to the Vipassana, you are ready to anything. Still you are shooting, no harm. But you are not expecting 100% or 100 out of 100 to shoot the target or shoot the bullseye. Then I call you are a human. Otherwise, sorry. Otherwise, sorry, because you are a puppet. You are a robot. Someone directed and you are... Then the tension. Today parents are utterly in the tension because they are badly directing the children to targets. They are killing children. Schools, army, police, office hierarchy, office bureaucracy, all in tension. 100%. But they are aiming at a target and they are in the supply and demand theory. They expect only the success. They are utterly getting only the failure. And together with tension. But the Vipassana person, 50% success, 50% failure, but the muscles are relaxed. So, may I tell it, whether you like it or not, this disease is more suffering by females. I don't know, because I am not a female, I am just telling. So much of hopes, so much of expectation. And you know definitely they are failure, for my understanding. And you say, no, failure cannot be expected, we have to be straightened and power line straightened. Do. That is what you call artificial intelligence. That's called the technology. That's what you call infrastructural development. I am not using the term. Just expect whatever it happens, just like an aboriginal person living in the forest or a monkey live in a fruit tree. Just see what is happening. I mean, they are not civilized, but they have no tension. Have you ever heard any monkey committed suicide? Have you ever heard any aboriginal person committed suicide? No. I participated the top rankers in the Peradeniya University because 8 children committed. And the deans and the vice chancellor, they says, we lost Bhante. What is your answer? Then I told, why I should be answered? Because I am outside, I am just a campus student. You bloody fellows, with the power line. Straighten. Earlier the ragging and everything happened in the art faculty. Now these suicidal happen in the engineer faculty and the medical faculty. Because they are disturbing human nature. They are disturbing the society. They are trying to make the structural drawings and infrastructure. Ultimately they are committed. They are intention. Even a small thing if you find fault with, they get completely disheartened, committing. So parents and the teachers are utterly, they don't accept simple mindfulness, the beginner's mind, and the choiceless awareness as the answer for this kind of a question. I told, because you bloody fellows are not meditating. I am telling you to meditate first. University dons. And then lecturers, and then to the student, it will take time. But anyway, we have started 8 years ago. We have something. So therefore, at the samatha meditation, whether vipassana or samatha, you have to go through the samatha practice. And there you are straightened and you are in the full tense, like a strand put into two sides. Fully tensed. You have to understand it. That is also you will later understand, if you are lucky and if you are with the quick wit, it is not for your well-being. You are thinking about others. You are thinking about the children. You are thinking about the country. You are thinking about the Sinhalese Buddhism. Then you are in attention. Utterly you are a monkey mind. But when you are thinking about my own well-being, I am here now, whether it is a good or bad, successful or not, whether you are mindful or not, no harm. No harm. So therefore, sorry to say, it is a truth anyway. Once you become mindful, you are more tense than unmindful people. So we are making so much of video, short videos, not only teaching mindfulness, we say unmindfulness. But the secret, the universal secret, truth is, only mindful people knows unmindful. Unmindful people do not know the mindfulness as well as unmindfulness. They are reptilians. They are animals. They are not human. Shall we go to the next?
Dear Venerable Bhante, I report on a sitting meditation last night after an emotional day and a nice cup of tea. After an emotional day and a nice cup of tea. Starting the session, I found my body slightly tired with a tensed feeling in my thigh, while my mind was alert and calm. I started observing the breath and found slow and shallow in and out breath with soft touch at the nostrils and inside the nose, and the feeling of constriction of the in-breath. After a few breaths, I let go and watched what would come to my mind naturally. I found my mind going to the tensed, slightly unpleasant feelings in the thighs. After a few seconds, thoughts arose how I would report on this. Knowing these as thoughts mindfully, they stopped at the moment I turned my attention to them. After a short break, without anything in mind, a tickling sensation at my foot arose. Like that, I practiced for 55 minutes. In that time, mostly different body sensations, thoughts, sounds, and awareness of the breath came into my mind. In the first 20 minutes, there was no mind wandering. After that, episodes of short mind wandering, within brackets 5 to 10 seconds, came. Also episodes. I wasn't sure if the mind wandering occurred. In the last 15 minutes, my mind stayed for longer time at the sensations of my thigh so that I could do a little investigation. Further question. I am a bit confused that I can keep my mindfulness without mind wandering for longer times on rapidly switching objects, but rarely can focus my attention on one object without mind wandering. What do you say about this? Thank you.
No, it is not a question that I can keep a longer time without wandering. It's an answer. But anyway, you made a question out of that, and there's no object also. And my question is, Can we take that person? Can the writer can raise hand? Would you mind to come here? We are going to hack you. So good reporting. So whenever that kind of non-wandering and without an object, mind is suspending. Am I correct?
Yeah, for little times without an object, just very short.
Yeah. So is your mind, is it that your mind or it is not your mind?
It feels like my mind.
That is the foolishness. That is not depending upon something. And it's not wandering, it is in the present moment. And you can see it's a phenomena. You claim it as a mind, and you claim it as my mind, and then that after ending, you know what is the object it is hanging, and mind is mindful or not. And that also you claim as your mind. I mean, for that I will agree with you. But when there is no object, when there is no mindfulness, there's a short period to become an outside observer. Distance observer, there's a phenomena called the existence. The day you disclaim it, the day you disavow it, you enlighten. One thing. Okay. The other part is, the early part of your reporting is that you are looking at yourself as a third person. Something as someone observe yourself like. Imagine we are living on the earth and we become an astronaut. We go out of the orbit and look at the earth. Among the other astronomical objects, we see the earth. Now we see the earth being on the earth. And now we can look at the earth from the satellite point of view. Likewise, when you see yourself, everything is mindful. That's called Parato Sankalpa, the Buddha says, as an external person. So for many people it's a very unauspicious, very unholy situation or unexpected situation, because you see yourself as an animal. Just play. So you take a perspective out of the orbit and look at it. And that is what you call reflection. Only the mindful people can do it. Others, they will go to the psychiatrist. They will go to the black magic people. Something happened to me, I went into a trance and I don't know, please, bring me back into the same old dirty place. The day you get a distance and you see what is happening, and you can see as a completely neutral observer, just like a cricket match is happening, a commentator is outside and telling what is happening in the cricket field. You are looking at yourself. And that happens only when you do walking meditation. After a while you feel like robotic walking. Just like a pendulum going up and down. And then you have to withdraw yourself and see how it is happening. Everything automated. And the moment that breath becomes natural and normal in-breath and out-breath, and when it is in a rhythmic pattern, you can go outside and look at it. The body breathes. You become a no-distance observer. And no tension. Anything happens, sounds happen, thoughts happen, pain happen, everything is encountered. Mindfulness is not disturbed. Pardon me?
And you say this is only happening in walking, not in sitting?
Sitting also, when the breathing is automatically happening, and you are sitting maybe 15-20 minutes time, everything is automated. No will, no volition, no doing something. Everything is happening. You have prepared mind, just let that happen and observe. I mean, observation itself is something willful action. Yes. But later that also become automated. You become your own object. Then when you are looking at another person, you can read why he or she is happening like that, because I know exactly the same. When they are not mindful, they do not know. But if I am well mindful, I can understand emotional intelligence, emotional literacy. So Lokuhamdo used to say, when you become mindful, enough mindful, it becomes contagious. Close by people also can feel that particular person is mindful. The observer is not mindful. Exactly, the mindful person can understand why the other person is behaving like that, why the animals are behaving like that, why the trees are behaving like that. Because you are looking even yourself as a third person.
What do you feel right now about me?
You are a very good person.
No, I mean about the mindfulness.
I don't know. Mindfulness is that you are very relaxed. Otherwise, you can't ask.
Yeah.
One day, interview is happening one by one. And Sharon Salzberg, you know Joseph Goldstein's wife, in IMS, Inside Meditation Society, she was under the shadow. And he immediately asked, when you are climbing up to your dormitory, how many steps there? She can't remember. Next time, when you are climbing, you must be mindful. Don't look here and there. You have to be, get out and go. And while she was standing up from the sitting, stop. Where is your mind? I have the fear, Bhante. I know from the sitting, I am standing. I have my fear and the respect for you. Okay, get up. And she says it felt like quite uncompassionate thing. But Thero has given a special treatment. Now she is doing a good job in America. Writing the best books on Metta Bhavana. Because you have to understand the other person without the self-idea. Just like a mechanism. Just like a beast. Very easy. Then I can tell her whether I like it or not. That is nothing she can correct me because this is my impression. But we are not doing it. We have fear she will misunderstand me, you will misunderstand me. So much so we are in tension. So you have to look at as if I look at her and you. As if I am looking at me, the anatta is, Buddha given 5 characteristics. Sunyato, ritato, tucchato, anattato, parato. It's empty, sunya, and nothing. Tuccha, it's a very, how do you call, trivial, or it is inert, and it is not me. It is look at as if someone else. These things are very difficult for the people running enterprises and the household life and kind of thing, they can't do it. But still, I have been in a company, I have been among the many people, but still I can be few minutes completely cut off. Look at yourself as if you are sitting in front of a mirror like. So enlightenment is already there. There is nothing to go in search. Look at it from the as if outsiders. External perspective, you are just human being. I mean, our crimes are not so difficult, dirty crimes. Our spirituality achievement also nothing to talk. They are trivial. We just human being. Very difficult when you are living in a society. The society is imposing upon you that post and this and that. But still you can be ego, live unto yourself and look at from the external point of view. Then you are with the Buddha. Then you are with the Dhamma, then you become naturally the Sangha, and your precepts are perfect. So these writings are addressing to that kind of thing. I am just catalyzing it. Just go along this way and look at yourself as if you are in front of a mirror. And see whether you are mindful or not. Take it easy.
Yeah,
Take it easy and then look at other people only through the mindfulness, not from the compassion, not from the metta, nothing. Just mindful, just like a mirror reflecting. Very easy the relationships, communication. Okay?
Okay, yeah, thank you. And may I ask one other question?
Yes.
As you said about the first report about more a tendency towards samatha or vipassana, do I understand that correctly, that I seem to tend more to the vipassana way, not the concentration ability so much?
Is it a question or statement?
Yes, I think so. Would
It is not a question because you are. Don't try to be someone.
All right, thank you.
With the help of reporting and with the help of the discussion with others, we learn. Who am I? I am not learning she or you. By discussion, I can understand who am I. Sometimes you also can help me in the neutral remarks, you can help. But many people give the pregnant statements out of respect and shit. I try my best to not to use this word, but it came out just. No.
I think we forgive you all. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Venerable Sir, sitting meditation. Started meditation hearing the raining sound. When I can get awareness into body, begin to breathing fastly. In few moments, this disappear again, breathing appear, it's slower than first time. This happened 3 times. In this moment, I can feel heat in my whole body. When cold wind touch the skin, I feel it changes. After 10 minutes, thought and image appear in mind without a control. I just watch it. When I sense the gap on it, I begin to observe the mind. When it reduces, light appear on the mind. When I stay there, I can sense the feeling of the body. When I more focus it, it is growing to be hurtful feeling. After a while, it split to tiny particles, start to reduce it. I can sense a solidness in the body in the beginning stage. After bodily feeling disappear, light and shape of body remain. Time to time, small thought and feeling can observe, stayed in this state around 15 minutes. Walking meditation. In the beginning, I concentrate on the feet, and after mind calm down, I just observe the body when it walk on its own. When body walking, it is like a solid object. Observe the different areas feeling where it touches the sand particles. After a while, I can sense a hurtful feeling in the heel and toe. This grow along the whole leg and then to body. Observe the bodily feeling of the full body. When I am doing the walking meditation, sometimes my view is blurred, like the TV screen. When bodily feeling is released, mind and body is very relaxed and body just walking without doing anything.
Now, this is about understanding in and out. Usually when the wind is blowing, that very wind can touch this gadget, can touch the wall and touch the skin. And then with that we understand the wind come and blow and I feel the wind movements and then I understand this is me and this is not me. Me and not me boundary is the skin at the beginning, not always. So our problems and our frustration, our enlightenment, everything is within the body. Me. But not me. No defilements, no meditation, no enlightenment. Whatever you claim as me, you are answerable. It must be good and it's a moral, it must be concentrated, it's a vipassana, oh blah 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 blah. So that at the beginning we take the skin as the limit. Uddhang padatala adoke samattaka tachaparyanta. Above the soul and below from the head, whatever it may be covered by the skin, we call as me. And epidermis is the only place we have nerves. These are the places you have nerves. And when the embryo is happening, the nervous system only go to the spinal cord as well as the epidermis, humor. Humor is the outer line. Now you are asked to sit and close your eyes. Then what is your in and out? Completely challenged. And then you can imagine, this is my right knee, this is my left knee, this is the nostril and kind of thing. This is the point the breath is happening. So is it exactly the same place or in just jump out of or in come in? Displacing. You can't imagine. So you can roll the eyes and see, but eyes are closed. Sometimes it is go in to the middle of the brain or sometimes go out. So then you get blurred. And while walking, when the in and out boundary become blur, and then you become dizzy, you become vomitish, you become allergic reactions like. It's our whole system, law, money, education, politics, everything based upon boundaries. So the moment you set boundaries, you are in tension. But in the meditation, you start with the boundary, this in-breath, this out-breath, this is called the discrete knowledge, that is called parichinna jnana, nama rupa paricheda jnana. And ultimately they become blur. They become inside, in-breath is almost like out-breath is like in-breath, and nostril is not here, it is sometimes displaced and in-right, and walking also is it you are doing or happening. That everything indicates your boundaries are slowly disappearing. Then you become giddy, and you become fearful, you become threatened, you become vomitish. So many of you experience it, but you love your body and your life, therefore always you come back to the same old pattern. You never run it out and to say just body is something you define as this. But when you close your eyes, that is no more. And while breathing you see, you forget about the lower part of your body. You only concern about the upper part of the body. And you can see expansion, contraction, cool, long, short and everything, and lower part, it is out. Only the in part, in. Upper part is in. Ultimately it reduces to the just end of the nostril. And the end of the nostril in, even your body is out. That is what you call concentration. And there your boundaries are lost. And again, when you are about to close your eyes, again you establish. So Krishnamurti used to say, soon after waking up in the every morning, just see, first thing foremost you do is you establish yourself. Now I am not at my home, no, I am not at my room, I am in Nissarana. How do I know? I can see the net and the fans and the fellow meditators, then you feel comfortable. Otherwise something wrong. That everything is because you are love to your body and love to your life. Kayecha, jivitecha, apekkata kila kiya. The opposite is kayecha, jivitecha, anapekkata. So if you have a mindset, at the beginning of the meditation, yes, I will see the in-breath and out-breath very discreetly, but even the boundaries are blurring, if the boundaries are become unclear, never mind, beyond that only vipassana is there. Let that blurring happen, let that the boundaries breaking happen, and then you are liberated. So liberation is waiting there to you to come, but you always come back to your age-old house, the body, the life. So therefore, can we have a view, a mindset, a prepared mind? Let that dissolve. I mean, it is happening. But how can we facilitate it? How can I be prepared for that? That is no more in Buddhism. Buddhism is to give piritnul and the protection to your wife and protection of children and everything protected, and you are, Buddhism will protect you. You have to give some money to Buddhist temples, that's all. Bloody fellows, not concerned of their own well-being. They can't do anything to you. Don't be religious. If you are giving to Nissarana, no problem. That is the way, that is the way, that is the way. So therefore, that all you do, cheating yourself because of your body, love to the body and love to the life. I think it is not a harmful one, it is a natural, it's called that's called the motivation. I mean, everything is, what is the motivation behind? Sigmund Freud told, motivation is just sex. The Buddha says, motivation is sensual pleasure. And Professor Padmasiri is writing essays. Whatever we do, the second person can see, what is the motivation behind? That particular person do not know. All motivations are worldly, all motivations are lay, but you can go beyond. That called breaking the law. Non-traditional, revolutionary. and lot of other terms are there. So as far as we are just following and obeying the social law, we become just animals. So that's why I like forest. That's a forest law. Monkeys are there, serpents are there, and we are living, leeches are there. There are no courtrooms, there are no cases. Thing happen, that's it. You bloody fellow go to the forest, they are natural homestead. But in the society, I came from America. I came from UK. Utter mess. Not a bloody, one single fellow can understand it. This is no, America is well organized and kind of. And the UK, not only the first time. I am visiting now 10, 15 years, I am looking at from the conspiracy viewpoint. I can see. When I come back, I am so happy. It was forest. But I saw America also, there are some afforestation happening. In UK also, greens are there. They are inviting to come there. I always go there. Just to see organized societies, organized systems, everything is corrupted. Corruption because system is corruption. So boundaries. What is the artificial intelligence means? What is the computer science means? What is this political? Everything is boundaries. In Sri Lankan Buddhism, Siyama Nikaya, Amarapura Nikaya, Ramanya Nikaya, or sectarianism. And if Siyama Nikaya person comes to the Amarapura Nikaya, no. Because Siyama Nibbana is different from the Amarapura Nibbana. And Amarapura Nibbana is from the Ramanya Nibbana. So this you have to understand, because we have enough evidences. Whenever concentration happens, centralized, your outer boundaries become moving. It is not a fix. When Jnanananda used to say, the inner part of the outside and the outer part of the inner side is the same. And that's what we call boundary of our body. They are so obsessed. If a female is touching a male, if a male is touching the female, criminal. Through that only children happen, otherwise no children. And if you touch one of our teachers in the New Zealand, after that a student got a good pass, just touch and pat and say, Puta, you have done a good job. And he immediately went to the principal, reported. That particular person touched my body. And the principal told, go and apologize. And he told to the principal, I am a very elderly person. This is our natural way in Sri Lanka. No, don't worry. If the child is touching, if the child is complaining, you are the culprit. That is because the body, that is because the boundaries. So when we become elderly, more and more become restricted. And the younger children, they don't know the boundaries. The Sigmund Freud says, the young child think mother's breast is me. They don't know it is belong to someone. And when the breast is not appearing, start to cry. But that part is mine. And the baby do not know when the hand is coming and up, this is my part. Later our parents are fixing the boundaries. Then onward tension happens. So don't go against the boundaries, but understand boundaries are the basic thing through which the tension happens. So see, boundaries are not fixed. They are changing and they are suffering and they are not me. That changing nature, suffering nature and not me say thing, so philosophical. If you write it about this, definitely you will get Nobel Prize. Because people are talking about the boundaries. There's one book called No Boundary by Ken Wilber, and it was so amazing. When I was in Nilambe, later I purchased one book for me because I am sleeping with it because it is so beautiful. No boundaries. So this letter, whoever is writing, is very clearly indicating how the boundaries are working, how the wind happens, and there I feel the skin, I feel the shape, I feel the in and out boundaries, and don't accept it. Just observe. Another observation, and see, boundaries are very volatile. They are moving always, but our mind becomes very shaky. Whenever the boundaries are, that means you are not happy to understand changing nature. The day you go prepared with, you see the boundaries are coming up closer and go away, and according to the in-breath and out-breath, and you can understand that changing nature, the day you accept it, whole world is beautiful, very aesthetic, very poetic. But if you say, this is me, this is not me, the hell, then the tension. Paduttha manasa. The Buddha says, Paduttha manasa. Pasanna manasa means, yes. At a time it is me, at a time it is not me. Me and not me boundary is the basic function of the consciousness. That's it. Enough. 5 more minutes available. Ready to talk? You may go there because that close to the mic will make... Just sit. මේකෙල තමයි මේ සතිපාසල පටන් ගන්නකොට නිස්සරණනේ මුල්ම වෙච්ච කෙල්ල. She is the one who started සතිපාසල, and that year she failed in the 5th standard. We have the scholarship exam. She failed. And she came and told, I failed, never mind. And now she has gone to the school close by, and she is now teaching. Other schools are hiring her to teach mindfulness. මොනා කියන්නේ බෑ.
අවසරයි ගෞරවනීය සම්මාංශ ඊයේ පැය එකමාරක් විතර භාවනා කළා. මෙහෙ ඇවිල්ලා ගොඩක් කාලෙකින් කරපු නැති හින්දා මුල් ටිකේදී සිතුවිලි ආවා. සිතුවිලි එන එකත් සතිමත් භාවය ලකුණක් කියලා දැනගත්තා. ඊට පස්සේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පරියංග භාවනාව නෙවෙයි කළේ සක්මන් භාවනාව. ඒ කියන්නේ නිදිමතට ගොඩක් බර වෙලා තිබුණ හින්දා සක්මන් භාවනාව කරගෙන යනකොට මුල් ටිකේදී සිතුවිලි කියන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ මමම කතන්දර ගොතනවා වගේ එකක් මටම හිතුණා. ඊට පස්සේ මනසත් එක්කෙනෙක් කියනවා හදන්න එපා, සිතුවිලි හදන්න එපා කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ තව එක්කෙනෙක් කියනවා සතිමත් බවින් යන්න. අර සිතුවිලි වලින් කැල්ලා එනකොට ආයෙත් අර මයින්ඩ්ෆුල්නස් සතිය මෙව කරගන්න, ඒ කියන්නේ සතියෙන් ආපහු යන්න පියවර 5-6ක් යන්න කියලා කියනවා කෙනෙක්. මම ඒක ගැන හිතුවා ඇත්තටම හිතේ දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවද කියලා හිතුවා. ඊට පස්සේ අද උදේ 9:00 විතර පටන් කරගෙන යද්දී ඊයේ කරා වගේ මේකේ ඒ වගේම පටන් ගත්තේ. හැබැයි පළවෙනි සක්මනේ භාගයක් විතර කරන්නේ නැති. ඒකෙදී ඊයේ වගේ මේ වගේ සිතුවිලි ටිකක් ආවා. හැබැයි පරියංකේට වාඩි වුණාට පස්සේ මං ඉස්සලාම එකපාරට S2 වහගත්තේ නැහැ. මුලදී ටිකක් S2 අරගෙන ශරීරය දිහා බැලුවා. පිට ඉඳන් කෙනෙක් බලාගෙන ඉන්නා වගේ බැලුවා. ඔතකොට මට දැක්කා මං S2 වහගෙන හිටියත් හුස්ම ගන්නකොට ඉහළ පහළ යන එක මං S2 අරගෙන හිටියත් මේ හුස්ම ගන්න එක ඉහළ පහළ යන එක මට තේරුණා. රූප බාධා වෙන හින්දා තමයි S2 පියාගත්තේ. S2 පියාගෙන විනාඩි 5ක් 10ක් ඒතර සිතුවිලිත් එක්ක මොකක් හරි ගැටීමක් තියෙන්නේ නැති. හැබැයි මං දැනගත්ත සිතුවිලි එනවා කියලා මං දැනගන්නේ සතිමත් බව හින්දා කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ දිගටම කරගෙන යද්දී සිතුවිලිත් නැහැ, හුස්මත් නැහැ. මොකක්ද උනේ කියලා හරියට මතකත් නැහැ. නිදිමතට යන්නේදී කියලා හිතෙනවා. හැබැයි මං ඉන්නවා කියලා දැනගත්තේ නිදිමතට ගිහිල්ලා බෙල්ල කඩා වැටෙද්දි තමයි මම දැනගත්තේ මම ඉන්නවා කියලා. ඒක විටෙන් විට වුණා. ඊට පස්සේ එච්චර වෙලා කියන්නේ පරියංගයේ දෙපාරක් විතර කරේ. සක්මනේදී එන්නෙන්ද මෙව්ව ටික කියන්නේ පියවර තියෙන සංඛ්‍යාව වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. උදේට වඩා ටිකක් දවල් වෙනකොට අර පියවර සංඛ්‍යාව වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. එච්චරයි සන්නහස.
So I will try to give just a English translation in a brief. While walking, mind is wandering. Sometimes one part of her is telling the wandering is bad. Let the mind to come back to the walking. And the other part is never mind. Let the wandering happen. I don't care. So if there are two persons inside, Anil sitting, she tried open-eyed and still can maintain the breath. And closed eyes, still can maintain the breath. So whether the eyes are closed or not, breaths are there, and other distractions also there, and all of a sudden she found nothing. And then that is early signs of sleepiness. And then the collapse and head was bent, and then she came to know, I am living, I am here, I am not dead. And therefore, while it is happening, sometimes the mind is complete blank, and then often it leads to sleepiness. These are the early signs of sleepiness. And then you find a sleeping person. How do you know you are a sleeping person? Your head is slack. So this is what she is telling. But මතකනේ අර උපාසකම්මලා 23 දෙනෙක් අමාරුවේ දැම්ම. ඔකමනේ කිව්වේ.
ඒකෙත් සන්නාස නින්ද ගිහිල්ලා කියලා කලින් දැනගන්නවානේ. ඒකෙදි මම
උපාසකම්මලා 23කට ඔබ කියවනේ පිට ගියොත් ඉත ගන්නම කියලා. බැන්නනේ. බැන්නලා ඒ මෝඩකම්මයි තාම කරන්නේ. ඒ අර පරණ මෝඩිව තමයි. කමක් නැහැ. කියන එක ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි මං කියන්නේ. සෙනගින් කියන උඹලට බෑනේ ඔය වයසේදී උඹලා ඕවත් දැන හිටියේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මේ කෙල්ල මගේ කෙල්ලක් මොනවා කෙරුවත් මම බාර ගන්නවා. බඳින්න ඉස්සෙල්ලම මං කිව්වා මුන්ගේ අප්පා තාත්තට ඔය ගෑණි මට දීපන් කියලා. අපි දෙන්න කාමරේකුත් ඇදුවා. ඌ කොහොමද මේ මෙතන යන තැනම ගෙදර තියෙන්නේ. කෙල්ල ඌමයි තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ දැන් දෙන්න. හැබැයි මුල්ලු පවුලම මල්ලි නංගි එක්කනයි මල්ලි එක්කනයි. නේ? අම්මත් එක්ක හැමදාම එනවා. ඇවිල්ලා භාවනා කරනවා. ඉතින් මම බොහොම සන්තෝෂෙන් ඉන්නේ. උඹලා මොනවා කොළඹටලා බෙසු කෙලියත් අපි ගමේ වුන් භාවනා කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා මේක දිගට කරන්න මට කියන්න පුළුවන් ඔය මට්ටමේ ඉන්න කෙනෙකුට හිත පිට ගියාම යන්න හරින්න. ඒකෝට තමයි මම කවුද හිතේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කැකෑරෙන්නේ මොනවද කියලා බලන්නේ. ඒක නතර කරන්න යන්න එපා. ඒකෝට හිතට ඒක කරන්න බැරුව යනවා. එයා ආයෙ එනවා මෙතෙන්. ඒක කියන ගිදයක් නෑ බබා ඔයා යන්න. ඔයා ගිහලා විසු කෙලින්නකෝ. ඔයා තරුංගල් අරින්නකෝ. ඕන මගුලක් වෙන්න අරින්නකෝ කියලා හිතවිලි වලට දෙන්න ගත්තොත් ඒ හිතවිලි තියෙන නපුර නැති වෙනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ සිතුවිලි වලට පාලනය දෙන්න එපා කියලාද කියන්නේ? නෑ.
බෑ හිතවිල්ලට යන්න හරිනවා. ඔබ තරුංගල් අරපන්. ඔබ ඵලයක්.
ඔතුරු ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඒක සිතුවිලි එන එකතොර වැඩි වෙනවනේ කියන්නේ.
නෑ. ඒක තමයි ඔබ හිතන්නේ. ඔබ මල්ලියට කියපන් වෙලට ගිහලා තරුංගල් දෙන්න කියලා. ඌ යන්න ඕන කියලා යන්න ඵලයක්. ඉවරයි. යන්න එපයි කිව්වොත් තමයි ඒක ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ. අපි සත්තු මරන්න නෙවෙයි මේ යන්නේ හොරකම් කරන්න මේ කාමීත්‍යාචාරනේ බොරු කියලා මොකුත් නැහැ. මේ කියන්නේ මේ පරිඋත්ථාන කෙලෙස්. බලය. ඒ දීපු දවසේ තමයි අපිට තේරෙන්නේ ඌට ඕනේ එපයි කියද්දි අත කඩාගෙන යන්න. යන්න යරපන්කෝ. මොකුත් අද අම්මලාට තාත්තලාට කෙලවෙලා තියෙන ඕන නොතන. උන්දලා පොඩි කාලේ පිස්සු කෙලලා අර දරුවෝ හදන්න හදනවා. දරුවෝ හැරෙනකොට දන්නවා මේ අම්මා පිස්සු කෙලපිට තමයි මාව හම්බුනේ කියලා. ඒ ඌව බලක්කනේ පොඩි උන්ට කියන්න තියෙන්නේ උඹලගේ ලෝකේ උඹලට තේරෙනවා. අපි මේ වණ කරගෙන ඉන්නේ. ඒ නිසා උඹලා අපිට කියලා දීපල්ලා. උන් කියලා දෙනවා බුදු අම්මේ කඩුවෙලට ගියාම පුදුම කියලා දීම. So what I was telling, if the mind is wandering, mind is daydreaming, go prepared, let the mind to wander off. Because she has fair amount of mindfulness. For such a person, I would say, let the wandering off, let daydreaming and see, and there's nothing new, nothing hiatus. Then mind naturally come back. If you say don't do it, it's ever keep on proliferating, mental proliferation. So let it happen because they are not doing transgressional kind of defilement. They are obsessional. So let it happen because you have the guardian, you have the mindfulness. Then you can understand if you are suppressing, if you are controlling, it is proliferating. So you have to have a mindfulness before the proliferation, mindful. After the proliferation, mindful. No defilement. That's a formula given by Pandita Sayadaw. If you are daydreaming and fantasizing, beginning if it is mindful, after the fantasizing, still if you are mindful, in between things are null and void. That Buddhists do not know that. They are always worrying about something happen, so therefore they are in the inferiority. You don't know you are enlightened. In Nirvana Shatakam, it says, Chitananda Rupam, Shivoham, Shivoham. My body is Satchitananda, blissfulness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. So that the Shankaracharya is considered as the God. No, he says each and every one of you. It's a beautiful mind. And you are the one telling it is wrong. And you don't claim you as a Buddha, you don't claim as you are enlightened, because you always claim what is your mistake. So let the mind to play, let the mind to send kites. Because we are in the third day in the retreat. We are in this religious atmosphere. Let the mind to little run, but beforehand you have to understand, you must be mindful. Don't do it with the beginners, then they will misunderstand. You have to develop the mindfulness, let the mind play hell. It naturally come back. පිස්සු කෙලින්න දීපන් පිස්සු කෙලියට පස්සේ
නිදිමතට එන එකට මොකද කරන්නේ එතනින් එහාට යන්න
නෑ නිදිමත එනවා දැක්කනම් go through එන ඉවරයි නිදිමත එන්නේ කියලා දන්නවනම් ඒ දැනීම හරි අවදි මනසක් ඉර නගින්න එන්නේ කියලා අරුණ දැක්කනම් ඉර නැග්ගහමකෝ දකින්න එක හරි විශාල ජයග්‍රහණයක් ඒ තියේදී නිින්දෙන් අරින්න ඕනේ මේ අපිට ඕනකමට හිටින්නේ නෑ ඒ නිින්ද එනකොට ඒක දිහා බලනකොට පේනවා මෙයා හැංගෙන්න ගුහාවක් හදාගෙන ඉන්නවා කෙලස් නැති වෙච්ච ගමන් එයා ගුහාවට රිංගනවා. පෙන්නන්නේ අවදි වෙන්න දෙන්නේ. අපි කියන ඔබ රිංග ගනි. ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳ තැනක් නේ එතන. කෙලස් නැහැනේ. මම මේ කෙලස් ඒ ගුහාවට හොට දාලා බලනවා. එවිල බලනවා ඔබ කොහොමද මේකට රිංග ගන්නේ කියලා. කියලා නිදිමත එන හැටි බැලුවනම් මේ මිනිස්සු නිදා ගන්න හදන තැන් බලපංකෝ. මාස්ටර් බෙඩ්රූම් කියයි, ස්ලීපින් බෑග් කියයි ඔක්කොම හැංගෙන්නනේ හදන්නේ. බුදියා ගන්න තැන හැංගෙනවා. මොකද කවුරු ආවිලා පීයෙන් අනිත් ඉඳ තියෙනවා. නැත්තම් ලිංගික දූෂණය කරන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා. ඉතින් හැම සතෙක්ම ඔය බුදියා ගන්න හදා ගන්න බිල් කූඩ මෙව්වා එච්චර විචිත්‍ර දෙයක් ලෝකෙම නැහැ කියනවනේ. මේ පාරායන බුදියානේ හිඟන්නේ දිහා බලපංකෝ. උන්දට ආතල්ලගේ බුදියානේ මොකක්වත් නැති වෙන දෙයක් නෑ. මට හරි ආසයි. ඔය ගිහිල්ලා ඔයගේ ගහක් යට වැටිලා. වැටිච්චලා බුදියාගෙන ඉඳලා ඉන්න. කලාතුරකින් මට හම්බ වෙනවා. එදසක් ගියා ඔය විනිපෙක්ද කොයිද ගිහිල්ලා දානේ වලඳලා රිට්‍රීට් එකට යන්න ඉස්සලා මට පුදුම නිදිමතක්. අපි ගාඩන් එකට ගිහින් මම කිව්වා උඹලා පැත්තකට බලලා මම බුදියනවා කියලා. බුදියනකොට මුවෙක් ඇවිල්ලා ළඟට අරුන් වට වෙලා ෆොටෝ ගන්නකොට මට හැරුණා. අපි දැක්කේ නෑ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ එහෙම මේ කැලේකට වෙන්නේ එක තනකොළ කොල්ල එක මම බුදිය ගත්තේ ප්ලේන්ස් යන මෙව එකක්. රන්වේ එකක කෙලවර. යනවා දඩබඩ ගන්න මට පුදුම නිද ඒක විනාඩි 5යි යන්නේ අවදි වෙන්නේ පුදුම අවදි භාවයකින්. ඉතින් අර කඩප්පුලි මුවෙක් ඇවිල්ලා මේ වැඩි කෑවා. අද දැන් බලන්න. එච්චරයි. Okay, now 10 to 20. So we will be gonging another bell at 2:45. Till that you all may start doing walking meditation. And 2:45 we'll get together here for a common sitting until 3:30. 3:30 to 4 again a short walking meditation, and then we'll start the Dhamma talk. Okay, thank you very much for the participation.